Hi, this is Tim Yoder with Fit Small Business. Today I'll be evaluating Zoho Books for Chapter 2 of the Fit Small Business case study. Chapter 2 deals with accounts payable, paying your bills, buying inventory, etc. In our Zoho Books account, if we look in purchases in our left menu bar, we can see all sorts of different options. This looks like it's going to be very simple. So we have our vendors, we have expenses. I'm assuming these would be things paid for immediately. We have bills. These would be things that you receive a bill but haven't paid yet. Payments made would be paying those bills. We have recurring expenses and we have recurring bills. So again, if you don't pay it immediately or if you do pay it immediately. And if we need to record a refund from a vendor, we have vendor credits. So this looks like a very easy system to use so far. Let's see if it works. So first thing, let's record our utility bill from New York City Electric for $150. So it's a bill that we're not paying immediately, so we're going to put it as a bill. Let's do create bill, vendor name, NYC Electric. Okay, new vendor, NY Electric, currency is the dollar. Okay, and let's click save. Okay, obviously, real life you'd want to fill out some more information, but we don't need to for this. Bill number would be, this is the vendor's bill number, whatever number they have on it, so we'll just make up something. Our bill date, let's just say it was dated today, and that is going to be due in 10 days. Or 15 is fine, net 15. Okay, excellent. Okay, so looks like, so they have item details and then accounts. So for a simple expense like this, so items generally are going to be things that you're going to bill to your clients or things that you want to track like inventory. So we don't want the utility expense set up as an item. We just want it set up as an account. So I'm assuming they have a utility expense of some sort or an electric. Okay, well, we will have to create a new utilities expense. Okay. Asks account type expense. Okay, utilities for $150. We're not going to bill it to a customer, so we're not going to select a customer. It's just $150. Okay, add another line if we wanted to. Let's just, so save as open would mean we're going to save it, but we haven't paid it yet. Okay, and they did let us do that without specifying an item, so that's good. Okay, now is there a way to attach? Oh, we wanted to assign this to our admin class, so let's go back into it. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here's an edit button. So we have to remember now. We have these. We've set up these tags. Now, where are the tags showing up? Settings, preferences, bill. So maybe we've set up the tags. Now maybe we need to set up fields for the tags. So settings, preferences, bills. Settings, preferences, bills. Well, let's go back to our where we had found our tags. So I think those were just under right here, reporting tags. So can we tell it where we want these reporting tags to show up. Okay, so that's correct for the tag name. Okay, let me do a little bit of research how we actually attach these tags to our bills. Okay, I'm back. I found it. It's pretty well hidden. So again, I'm editing my bill here. So within this line item, if I go to these three dots, show additional information, and here I have my reporting tags, and I can put this as class, admin, location, New York. So it's there, but it's kind of hidden. Okay, there we go. So let's save this. Okay, the other thing, can we attach a copy of the receipt? Yeah, I think we can. Let's go back to, what is this? Attach a file. So right there, we could attach a file, drag and drop it from our computer, upload it from our documents folder in our computer or from the cloud. Okay, very good. So let's score this first invoice. Creating a vendor was very easy. We were able to record a bill, so that's an expense without paying it. We could put the due date in there, and we can attach a copy of the receipt. Sending a copy of the receipt through the app, we will evaluate that later when we're evaluating the app. Okay, as well as if the receipt is just read or just attached. That's really for the mobile app. In this desktop interface, it's just attached. Okay, so moving on. Record the purchase of a miter saw by uploading this receipt. Again, we can look at that when we do their mobile app. Okay. Record a recurring monthly expense of $150 for telephone service. Okay. So now we're going to do a recurring monthly expense. Actually, I want to see if there is a way to create a new bill here. Can you create a bill from a receipt? I don't think so. Okay, we'll see if we can do it in the mobile app later. Okay, so now we need to do a recurring monthly expense. The expense is automatically paid from the checking account. So we don't want just a bill created, we want it to be automatically paid. So we're going to do a recurring expense, new recurring expense, profile name, we're going to call this our telephone expense, repeat every month. Never expires. The expense account will be telephone. The amount will be $150. Paid from our checking account. Okay, and our vendor is New York City Telephone. Okay, excellent. If we wanted to bill it to a customer, we could there. Here our reporting tags are not hidden. That's nice. And so again, this will be admin and New York City. Okay, and let's resave our recurring bill. Excellent. Very simple. So let's go to our scorecard here. Create a recurring expense. Yes. Okay. Now, let's get into some inventory accounting. So let's set up an inventory item for plumbing widgets. We're going to purchase them for $10 and sell them for $25. So over here on our left menu bar, let's go to items and items again. Let's create a new item. This is going to be a good, and we're going to call it a plumbing widget. The unit is just going to be pieces. Okay, our Selling price is $25, and we're going to put that into our sales income account. Very nice. And it is generally going to be taxable. Our cost is $10 per unit. So is this going to automatically, is it not going to put it into an inventory account? Okay, well we'll leave it at its default of cost of goods sold, but I'm really hoping that when we purchase it, it puts it into an asset account called inventory. Here we go. So track inventory for this item. Okay, here we go. Yep. Now select the inventory account. Inventory. Opening stock, we don't have any. Let's say our reorder point, well, I don't know, let's say 20. Okay. And we don't have any opening stock. Okay, excellent. So look at this. Wow. That's about as easy of an item setup, and very, I mean, it makes it very obvious what it is that you're doing. I like that. So associated tags, all of this inventory, these plumbing widgets will be for our plumbing location for New York City or New York State. Okay, let's hit save. Wow, that was really, really nice. Okay, now let's record a purchase order on 1/5 for 150 plumbing widgets from the widgets guy for $10 per widget. So this is not a bill yet, it's a purchase order. So where do we do our purchase orders? So we may not have turned on purchase orders. So let's go back here to our settings. I think that was under preferences. Yeah, here we go. So we have to turn on our purchase orders. Okay. Is there a save button? Yep, save. Okay. Now let's go back to our purchases. Is there now purchase orders available? Yep, right there we go. Purchase orders. Awesome. Okay. You know, that's kind of a neat thing. They give you the little workflow down here. So we're going to do a purchase order, and then we're going to receive the goods. Once we receive the goods, we'll convert it to a bill and record the payment. I like it. Okay, so let's recreate the new one. So our vendor is going to be a new vendor called the widgets guy. Okay. We're going to have this delivered to us, not directly to a customer. This is our purchase order number. It's going to be our first purchase order. We'll just do it for today. Expected delivery date, we're going to leave that blank. Do on receipt, shipment. Okay. So now here is the actual what we're purchasing. So we're going to use an item here. We're going to use our plumbing widget. And look at that. It automatically sets it up. This is going to be purchased and recorded into our inventory asset. The quantity is going to be, what did I say? I believe 150 plumbing widgets. Yep. At a rate of $10 per widget. That's $1,500. Excellent. So we're going to purchase those $1,500. Okay. Customer note. Terms and conditions. We can upload a file. Very nice. Let's check here and make sure that it's putting it into the right tags, but it should. Yep. So it's already doing our reporting tags, plumbing and New York, because we set those up as an item. Oh man, this is nice. Okay, let's do save and send. Okay, and I'm going to cancel out of here because I don't want to actually send an email, but that's how easy the purchase order would be to send. And there we go. And it looks like it had a PDF of it attached. So this must be what the PDF looks like. Okay, fantastic. So here it didn't record it. It's still showing it as a draft because I canceled out of the email. Let's just hit mark as issued. And there we go. Now it has the issued. Okay. On a later date, you receive 100 of those widgets ordered for $10 per unit. The invoice is dated. Okay, so we receive 100 of these 150. Okay, so now, so the next thing we're going to do is convert it to a bill. Rather than do it right here, I want to see what happens if we go to our. Now let's do it right here to start with. So, okay, so we pull up the purchase order, and now we've received 100 units. So let's hit convert to bill. The widgets guy, bill number is the vendor's bill number. Okay, bill date, due date, we'll just leave that what it is. Now, here is the key. Can I change this to, we've only received 100 of the 150. They didn't all get shipped together. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so that seemed to make that change just fine. Now this says save as open, so the save it as the bill will being open because the bill has not been paid. So we will save it as an open bill. Okay, good. So shows we owe the widgets guy $1,000. Now the key is, when we look at purchase orders, is there still 50? Do we still show 50 widgets as being on purchase order? So this says partially billed. Very nice. So if we pull up the detail, okay, how can we see how much is? Be nice if we could see a little detail as to what's still outstanding. Okay, so we could click here, view the bill, and then we could see that the bill was for 100 units. It'd be nice if somewhere in here it told us. It'd be nice if somewhere in here it told us that there was 50 units still. How about view bills? Okay, that's okay. It's not great. I mean, I would like it to very clearly say you still have 50 units on purchase order, but it doesn't. Okay. So, let's look at our items list here. I want to see what it tells us about our inventory now. Okay, so it shows us the 100 pieces of the 100 plumbing widgets on hand and 50 that it calls it to be billed. This means that it's on purchase order. Okay, so that's really good. I'd like it to show that in the purchase order detail, but it does show it there. So that's good. This is good information. Okay, so let's fill out our scorecard. Create an inventory item was really easy. Record a purchase order. Yep, convert that to a bill. Okay, create a bill for the purchase of inventory. Let's see, is that a separate step here? No, so we did that. View inventory available, view inventory on purchase order. They call it to be billed, same thing. View the total cost of inventory and the total units of inventory. Okay, let's go on a few steps first and then we'll come back and look at that. Okay, so now we receive the remaining 50 widgets, but now we have to pay $11 per unit. So for whatever reason, we're going to have to pay $11 per unit for the remaining 50. So let's see if we can do that. So let's go to purchases. This time, instead of going through purchase orders and converting it to a bill, let's go to bills directly and let's create a bill to the widgets guy and see if it'll let us know that there's a purchase order outstanding. Now I'm hoping when I do this, it's going to say you have a purchase order outstanding. Yep, look down here. Includes one open purchase item. So boom, click that. Click that. And add. I'm hoping it only adds 50. Yes, good. It only added 50, not the original 150. Very nice. We've got to have a bill number. Got to have a bill date. Okay, now the only thing here we need to do is we're going to need to change this rate to $11 per unit. and that does not seem to be a problem. Okay, excellent. I love it. All right, everything's filled out itself because of the item. Okay, let's save this bill as being open. Excellent. Now, if we look at purchase orders, that purchase order should be completely fulfilled, or what they call billed. Excellent. Now let's look at our inventory item. Okay, and we have stock on hand of 150. Excellent. So now the question is, can we see kind of our per unit cost? Because now here we have cost price of $10, but that's not our actual per unit cost because we had to pay $11 for the last 50. So I want to see our actual unit cost, or at the very least our total cost. This is not good here. Okay, let me do a little bit of research, see how we can view that inventory cost. Okay, so I'm back. It looks like we're going to have to view reports. I don't think we're going to be able to see it right here in our items center. I think we're going to have to go and look at an inventory report. Okay, here we go. Our inventory section. What about inventory summary? And then we'll start with that one. So this deals only with units. Okay, so let's go back. What about our inventory valuation summary? Stock on hand, inventory asset value. I don't like that they call it value because this is really the cost, and so that is the correct. That's what we've paid for our 150 units. Okay, so good. So we can see the inventory value, the inventory cost, but we have to go to a separate report. We can't see it right in our inventory center. But that's okay. So the total cost of inventory on hand, I'm going to go ahead and give it full credit. You can see it. You just have to know to go to the report. Total units of inventory on hand is very easy to see. Okay, excellent. So let's move on. Now we're going to do some project accounting. So record the following expenses for a project for your customer family bowling. The project is bathroom renovation. So let's see how we can do projects in Zoho Books. Okay, so we're going to want to add some customers. Let's create a new customer. It is a business, and we're going to call it Family Bowling. Okay, now we want to create a, let's see, reporting tags. These would be class and location. We don't want to set that up. I'm wondering if we can create a kind of like a sub customer that's a project. Not that I see yet. Okay, so let's click save. Oh, we have to have a tax rate. Okay, so we are going to have to skip ahead a little bit, but in the next chapter we're told to set up a 6% sales tax for New York. So we're going to do that now. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so we'll hit save. Okay, now I am not seeing any project accounting kind of stuff here. Now there is a Zoho projects, but we want to evaluate the Zoho Books on its own. We're not evaluating it with the other Zoho products. So I thought they had a little bit of project accounting built in. Is that something we have to turn on? So our preferences. Okay, let me do a little bit of research and I will come back. Okay, so I'm back. It looks like the project accounting within Zoho Books is built into the time tracking feature. So under time tracking in our left menu bar, we have projects. Let's create a new project. And this project name is bathroom renovation. And this is for family bowling. And our billing method is going to be just a fixed cost. We're going to give them a quote and we're going to follow that quote. And the total project cost, we don't know what that is yet because we haven't done an estimate. It looks like they're going to require us to put in a total project cost. Okay. Well, let me see if I can skip ahead in the case study here and figure out what we bill them for here. So it looks like we bill them for 40 hours of Hank's labor and the $200 permit fee. So that's 816, 3,200 for Hank's labor. So I think we're going to bill them $3,400 total. Okay. Okay. Looks like there's other things you can do besides accounting here in your project management. You can assign tasks, some good stuff. Okay, so let's just hit save. Okay. Good. Okay, so for this project, we're going to pay an independent contractor for the work, $30 per hour for 40 hours. We will eventually bill his hours at $80 per hour. Now, we're not going to use the timesheet feature here because he is a independent contractor, not one of our employees. Okay. Actually, nah. Let's see how it works. No, I don't. Let's stick with using an item. So we're going to do an item. We're going to create an item for contract labor. So this is an item. This is a service. Contract labor. The unit is, they don't have hours, so we'll put pieces. Okay. We're charging customers $80 an hour. We're paying only $30 an hour. It's going to go to sales. And here maybe we have, instead of cost of goods sold, let's make a new account, a cost of goods sold account, but let's call it contract labor. Okay, and our contract labor is non-taxable. Okay, and we don't want to track inventory. We're going to say that this contract labor is what we pay for plumbing, and we're only going to use it in the New York location. Now, if the contract labor was going to be used for various classes and for various locations, we'd leave these blank and we'd have to fill it out for each time we bill it. Okay, so now we're going to pay Hank $30 an hour for 40 hours. So let's go to expenses. I don't want to do it through an account, I want to do it through an item. I don't think we can do, I think we might have to do it as a bill. Okay, well, let's do a bill. So this is Hank Independent is the name of our contractor. This is whatever his invoice number is he gave us. The bill date, we'll just use today. And here we can choose contract labor, and we paid him for 40 hours. Okay, and that gives us a $1,200 bill. Now, here is where we want to assign it to a project. So let's select Family Bowling, Billable, and now we can put bathroom renovation. Now I'm not going to put a markup because when we set up the item detail, we already told it that we want to charge $80 an hour. So I think it'll automatically do that. So I'm going to leave that markup percentage empty. Okay, excellent. So let's save this bill as open. Okay, pay a $200 permit fee and pass this expense through to your customer. So we're going to have to do it as a bill again because our expenses can't use items. So we're going to pay this permit fee to New York City. Whatever the number is on their bill. The bill date. Okay. So this was, we forgot to create a, see if we can save it like that. No, we forgot to create an item. This is for a service we want to pass through. Permit. We're just going to, a permit is $200. We're just going to pass it through at the actual cost, sales, cost of goods sold. We want this to go to an other cost of goods sold. Okay, and hit save. Now we have our item. Now let's go to bills. Okay, now we can select the item permit, other costs, $200. Okay, now we want to make sure we get this billed to Family Bowling. So it's billable to and then to the project bathroom renovation. We don't want to mark it up. Let's update this. Now we need to make sure we specify a class and location because we didn't when we set up the permit. So our class is plumbing and our location is New York. Save the reporting tags and save as open. Okay, now this did tell us that we actually paid this permit fee as well as Hank. So let's go ahead and pay these open bills. So let's go record payment. Payment made $200. Very good. Paid through, let's say we paid through our checking account. Always important, obviously, that you make sure you pay it out of the right account. Okay, so now it shows New York City is being paid. Let's also pay Hank Independent. Okay, so we've paid for those expenses. Excellent. Okay, let's see if we can view the expenses incurred but not yet invoiced for the family bathroom. So we've indicated that we want to bill these, right? So let's see if we can view those payments. Maybe if we go down here to our project. Okay, I believe that's this. Let's see, what about if we do purchases? Status paid. So unbilled amount 3,400, billed amount 1,400. See, I'm not seeing anywhere where it tells me that. I'm not seeing anywhere where it tells me that those charges have not yet been passed through. Although this says bill amount and this is the billed amount. So I'm not going to do I don't want to create an invoice yet, but let's see if when we do an invoice, how can we do an invoice here? Can we create an invoice from here? Probably got to go up here. Let's see if when we do create an invoice, if it'll give us the option to add those expenses in. Here we go. Unbilled items. Yep, excellent. Okay, so these are our unbilled bills so that we can add those in. Very good. That's what I was looking for. Perfect. Okay, so we were able to create a project. We were able to create this independent contractor. Oh, let's see. Can we designate him? Let's go back to our. Can we designate Hank Independent to be paid on a 1099 is the question. So he is a vendor. And let's leave that invoice page. We don't want to create the invoice right now. So Hank Independent. Can we tell them here somewhere in his setup that he needs to receive a 1099? Track 1099 payments. Boom. Okay. We'll say he has an EIN and we'll enter it. Whatever. Should be 9 digits. I think that's 9 digits. Okay. There we go. Yeah. So we were able to create. Now the program will track all our payments to Hank Independent so that we can issue him a 1099. So anybody that needs a 1099 gets marked and the program will track them. So very good. We tracked him. Create a service item. Yes, we did that for the contract laborer. Set the default cost. Set the default price. Pay the independent contractor using the service item. Designate the payment as billable to a customer, as billable to a project. We were able to do all of that. In view, expenses incurred but not yet billed. And we couldn't really see that until we did the invoice, but we could do it at the invoice. And so that's great. Okay, so I think that gets us all caught up here. Now we want to view our unpaid bills and view our list of vendors, view the list of transactions by vendor. So case study is just asking us to kind of look at what information we have. View unpaid bills. As soon as you click on bills, it gives you a view of all your paid and open. Okay, so open means our unpaid bills. View a list of vendors. If we click on vendors, nice list of vendors, very good. View a list of transactions by vendor. So if we click on the vendor, it'll give us, yes, right here is a list of our transactions. Okay, and there gives us the status of open, because the next thing is view unpaid bills by vendor. Yes, you can just click into their vendor account and it gives you all of your unpaid bills. Very easy. Okay, so let's grade that part of it. View unpaid bills, view list of vendors, view unpaid bills, summarized by vendor, view a list of transactions by vendor. Yep. Okay. Record an electronic payment of the utility bill. Okay, so we want to know, can we record a payment without printing a check, essentially, is what this is asking. So the utility bill, let's go to our bills. We should have a utility bill for $150. Okay, that's this one. Can we pay this? So let's hit record payment. Payment date, payment made. We'll call it a bank transfer. And it was paid from our checking account. Okay, let's hit save. There we go. Okay, easy enough. Pay the $1,000 owed to the widget guy on the $1,000 bill. Pay that with a check. So here we owe the widgets guy $1,000. So let's click on that bill. Now let's record a payment, but we're going to record it with a check. Let's see how this works. So a check, checking account. Okay, not printed in Zoho Books. Okay, well, how do I print it in Zoho Books? Okay, let me do a little bit of research. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I think we're going to have to cancel out this payment that we started. Okay, so now we've opened the $1,000 bill. Now instead of record payment, oh, maybe it's up here. Instead of record payment, here we go, pay via check. This is going to actually let us print the check. Okay, that tells us how to buy our paper checks. Okay, the widgets guy, $1,000, checking account, memo, amount paid. Excellent. Okay. Save and print now, save and print later. Let's go ahead and print it now. Okay, and there is our check. Stick your check stock in your printer and hit print, and you should have a check. So very easy to print checks from Zoho Books. Did it print correctly? Yes. Okay, very cool. That was easy. Pay 400 of the 550 owed to widgets guy with a check. So this is what we call short paying a bill. So for whatever reason, we owe widgets guy $550, but we just want to pay 400 of it. So we're going to pay it we want to print the check in Zoho. So we're going to hit pay via check. Okay, instead of 500, we're going to pay 400 of it. Okay, and here we go. And let's see if we can save and print it. The amount entered for individual bills exceeds the total payment made to the vendor. Please check and try again. Okay, so maybe I just need to uncheck pay full amount. Save and print now. Okay, there we go. So I had to change the amount of the bill here. So I had to change the amount that we're paying for that bill. So I know what it was. Yeah. Normally if you'd pull this up, it would have had all of the outstanding bills for this widgets guy. So you can go through and select which bills you want to pay and exactly how much you want to pay on each bill. Here we only had the one bill. We had to choose how much we want to pay on that one bill. All those amounts then would add up to our full amount of the check. So that's why we have an amount up here and an amount down here. This is the total amount of the check. This is the amount we're paying on each bill, which in this case we only have one bill. Okay, save and print now. There we go. Okay, looks like a check. Hit close. Yes, it printed correctly. Okay, and now it says that this is partially paid, and when we look at the detail, it shows we owe $150. Very good. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill out our scorecard. So far, Zoho Books is just about perfect. Record an e-payment of the bill. That was no problem. Print a check from the program was good. Now remember, after we print the check, it pops up, asks, did the check print correctly? And then asks us for a check number. So that's where we could enter our check number. Okay, now let's deal with a little more complicated issue. Let's deal with a credit from the vendor. So let's say that we're going to return one plumbing widget to the widget guy for an $11 refund. The widget guy is going to issue us a credit that can be applied toward future purchases. So there's several things that has to happen here, right? It's got to account for the inventory we're returning correctly, and it's got to give us an $11 credit that we can apply to future invoices. Okay, so under our purchases here, we have vendor credits. So let's create a vendor credit. Vendor name is the widgets guy. This would be the credit number from their credit note they sent us. Okay, the item is we're returning a plumbing widget. Okay, and we are returning just one of them at a rate of $11. Now I'm a little confused here about why it's putting this into cost of goods sold. This should put it into the balance sheet account, into our asset account of inventory. You know, I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm gonna let it do what it wants to do, and we'll see if it's right. Okay, there we go. So we are being given a credit of $11. Okay, we're going to save that as open, so we'll have an open credit note, which will mean hopefully we can apply that open credit to our next bill. And here we go. So here is our vendor credits applied to bills. Okay, I think this is going to work. Now let's look and see. Okay, now let's look and see if what happened to our inventory items here. So hopefully it shows that additional inventory item. Yep, 149. So we took 149 out. We took one unit out of our inventory. Very good. Okay. But now, did it record that $1 cost? It should have recorded that. Let's look at our reports here. That $11 should have come out of our inventory value, not out of our cost of goods sold. It did. Okay, so this was like $15.50 before. Okay, so it did take it out of our inventory value. Okay, excellent. Okay, so that all looks good. Let's go to our scorecard. Record a credit from the vendor. Decrease the inventory units. Yes, it did. Okay, now the last step for this chapter, we're going to purchase 10 more plumbing widgets at $11 each, and we're going to issue a check for the bill, but after applying the $11 credit towards the purchase. Okay, so we're going to purchase 10 plumbing widgets. So purchases, bills, new, purchase it from the widgets guy. whatever bill number he gives us, the bill date. Okay, I'm going to purchase 10 plumbing widgets, but at a rate of $11. Okay, so that's $110. Save this as an open bill. Okay, now we're going to want to pay that bill with a check, but we're going to want to apply that credit we received. It's not bringing up our credit from the widgets guy. Okay, so I don't like that. It should automatically bring up that credit. That's what some of the other real good software we've reviewed has done, both QuickBooks and Xero. So let's go to vendor credits. So I think we're going to have to do it this way. So apply to bills. This is the $110 bill. So let's apply that $11 to that bill. Save. Okay, now we can go to the bills and go to our $110 bill here. And now it's only $99, so record a payment via the check. Okay, $99, all that looks good. And hit save and print now. Okay, and we printed our check. Give it the check number and hit OK. Okay, so we're able to do it, but it was an extra step, so I don't care for that. So over here, so apply the vendor credit to a new invoice. I'm going to give it a half a point there. That was not as easy as it should be. So I'll just comment here. Okay, and then can we short pay an invoice? Yes, we did that. We paid the $400 on the $550 invoice. And ease of use, man, it's pretty darn good. I'm going to give it, there were a couple places where I had to seek some help, but once you learn it, it's pretty easy. I'm going to give it a 0.8 out of 1. Okay, very good. That's chapter 2 of the Fit Small Business case study for Zoho Books.